Welcome to the One Trail Live Show. Today, a little bit different. I had a still got a decent show for you guys, but I had a little bit of dental work. My mouth is a little numb, and plus I got my sidekick over here in the corner, and I don't know when he is going to start acting like Opie, because Opie is a different type of pup. But today really is where I am as far as my evolution of being outdoors and the community that helped me get there. I know I'm still sticking with the theme of kicking this year off right. And one of the things I kind of talked about in the beginning, well, end of last year and kind of in the beginning of this year, of how I wanted to do things differently. And a lot of the big things that I am doing, one, I'm exercising more, and that wasn't a resolution. That was just because I'm getting fat, and so much I'm getting fat to the point I'm gaining weight. But I found a great biking group called Fat Guy Biking. Uh, it's a Facebook group. Join them. It's really about cycling, and they're not really they're you know they're guys biking. I like it. They crack jokes, and they're living life, man. They're living a dream as far as I can tell. But a couple things that I've really been working on is actually just making sure that I'm more active. I haven't been putting on the bike miles that I want, and that's because I hurt my shoulder at the end of the year. And with that being said, I'm healing up. I got motion back in there, so I can get my arm moving, but I am a little worried. So hold on, sorry. I hurt my yeah, I guess it was still the end there. I hurt my shoulder beginning of December. It started to heal up. I decided to get on the bike on the 31st. Road kind of hit a slick spot. Didn't really. I had to ditch the bike, catch catch myself, and I re-injured it, or just reset the progress on the healing. We'll call it that. And now I'm at the point I'm healing. I can ride, but being that there is snowing, there's ice, just don't want to slip and hurt myself. Not right now. Maybe in about another, I don't know. I'll wait till the freezing time is over. Once the weather gets above freezing, I don't have to worry about hitting ice patches. I'm get back and roll. How you doing, Chris? Said my mic is a little low on volume, eh? See if I can fix it for you. I appreciate you giving me the heads up there. Let's see if I can fix it. Tech one. One, two, three. I think I'm blowing you out the water now. How was that for you, Chris? Is that coming in a little better for you? So I'm not sure I kind of missed uh where I missed you at. Or I'm not sure if you didn't hear everything that was going on. But just going recapping my year, and just talking about me kicking the year off right. Uh, Things within the community that has really helped me gather my thoughts. Maybe I should have on my phone. That's usually why I have on my headphones, so I can kind of. Now I'm feeling a little distorted now. Check one, check two. Am I distorted, Chris? One, two, three, four, five. One, two, three, four, five. I'm feeling a little distorted on my end. Maybe I just need to turn myself up over here, then I will feel better about myself. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good there. So, the day when you get over technical. Um, but one of the things about the community that helps me grow, one of the things that helps me grow are you guys and the comments that you leave on my reviews, things that I buy, uh things that I think are great. Uh to me, okay, so buying gear, there's an evolution of buying gear. What works well today may not be the best tomorrow, and what works well for me may not be the best thing for you. I understand that. I accept that, and I am open to your criticism. I am not the person that will just think that my everything that I have is law and I'm unfallible. But here is one of the comments on a piece of gear in this this review came in, or this comment came in right after I finished my first snow ride of the year. Don says, I hate anon lenses. They basically, he's telling me when, if I take a hard fall, they can pop out on me. And I can see that, being that it's held on by magnets. It's not like a lot of the other glasses that have some sort of a latch on it to where it really locks in place. I mean, a magnet can give at any time. Though I still like I like the lenses because the lenses are and Zeiss and Oakley make some of the best lenses on the market. So, uh, for instance, mm, don't know if I want to touch it here, but I'll touch on it anyway. Uh, Touchy subject, won't say that because no, won't go there. But I like Zeiss glass for certain reasons, and people in the community will know what Zeiss is known for. Um, Oakley is a they have some of the best clarity in the business and durable lenses. And Oakley puts out, and I wear prescription everything, and this is why I'm going with Oakley on this particular subject. So when I get my prescription Oakley glasses, sunglasses in particular, uh, it's coming straight from them, in their glass. It's one of they're great. To me, they're great. But the thing with the thing with the Anon M4 goggles, it is a great product. The fit is great. The um the ventilation is great. They're comfortable. Ease of use of swapping the lenses out are great. Overall value for the lenses is, if you don't need to insert for vision, you can find them for a really good price. So overall, yes, good deal for it. But I do understand that I'm not snowboarding, and I haven't taken a strong hitter on my bike to where I've lost the lenses yet. Hope I never do. But if it should happen, I would understand where he's coming from with that, and I won't discredit where he's coming from there. So next up on the list is I get a few comments about this particular seat post. Uh, Oddly enough, no one really comments on how much it costs. It's mostly just that got a dog trying to break in. If you don't know, he's trying to get to his brother over here, and they're trying to have a party that's not going to happen. Uh, the Seat post is great. I bought it. It was one that had specs for a person of my size that I appreciated. That's why I went the the Connect 2.0. It's a really great seat post. Though last time I rode it, uh, winter, snow, lowered the tire pressure. And we're going to talk about tire pressure on your fat bikes today as well. But I lowered the tire pressure, of course, so I can kind of tread through the snow a little bit. Uh, and the softness of the tires and the roots that I would usually avoid when I can see them, but since they're snow covered at this point, I'm just kind of going over them. It's not a rough ride, but I will tell you that sometimes a suspension seat post works against you. And there was a lot of bobbing that I was going through riding in the snow. How's it going, Tom? I'm glad you finally caught one of the live shows as well. Uh, I'm I was missing you, man. I was wondering where you were. I didn't see you posted any videos, and then all of a sudden you started popping up on the forums again. I was happy to see you out there talking about seat post. Um, People ask me, what is it better to invest in? Is it better to invest in a seat or is it better to invest in a seat post? My answer to that, my opinion, depends. I have when I have gotten more out of a seat post than I have out of a seat. I learned early on the one of the biggest reasons why my tush was hurting is because I had my seat in the wrong position. Once I changed my seating, putting it to the right height, it didn't hurt as much. I mean, your butt's gonna take a pounding over time. It's just going to happen. But I have had more. I have m- have I have gotten more miles with comfort adding the suspension seat post, especially um, and this really the suspension seat post really only counts when you're on a when you're out on the street or semi rough terrain. Anytime I get into the real on those rougher trails, I'm really not in the saddle anyway, so it really doesn't matter. And that suspension seat post will work against you in that situation because at that point it's just a spring, it's a diving board at that point. So suspension seat post works against you in rougher terrain. It's really aggressive terrain. In just a rough situation, rolls, goals. Um, yeah. So Chris, with the anons, and anons are snow goggles. I use them to ride around in the I just use them to ride around in the snow, a little bit of rain. So as far as fog resistant goes, there is a fog resistant coating on it. But nothing is perfect. Um that's one and two. Uh the third part of that is long. I haven't tried to work in them. I definitely geared up in them once or twice to cut onions in them when I'm dehydrated and I have like a whole basket of onions that I need to chop up to so I can dehydrate them. I will put on these goggles, and I kind of look like a mad doctor, but uh, my eyes don't burn. I can tell you that. Everyone else in the house is crying, but not me. Um, they with these goggles, they're designed to work with snowboarding helmets and ski helmets, that sort of thing. So the venting system shoots down into the goggles to keep them defrosted. I kind of talked about that in the Anon Final Thoughts video that I just showed there. But we're still talking about C posts. Uh, Best bet, yes, seed post. Stick some money into the seed post. It is a great investment, especially if you are in the, especially if you're in the older group. That's going to give you more comfort than buying one of those big cushy seats. I have learned that for me, the bigger cushy seats get in the way more. Again, I've gotten more value out of the seat post itself and putting my seat at the proper height than putting that different seat on there. But I do have a couple of good suggestions for seats. I do answer all of my comments when I get them. If I don't, I will address you right here on the live show. I try not to leave anybody out. Everyone is included. I know everyone's felt it was very important for me to get on and talk today because I know everyone is sick right now about everything. So seat posts, goggles, more things that people really, really, uh, really talk to me about is definitely the overall bike stuff. Um, a couple weeks ago, I talked about things that I wanted to do with the bike, things I wasn't really happy with about the bike. And I got a comment that really, really made a lot of sense. And it's things that I know. But when it comes down to the Red Rover or really any bike that you buy under $3,000, they're marketed towards a certain group that just want to ride. And it's people like us that are getting older, having some sort of health issues, knee wise. That's what I'm really getting at. Maybe some weight issues, and we're getting back into just trying to stay active in some form, some manner. And the point that was made was this bike is for a certain class. Uh, you bought the bike, you were in a certain class, and then you evolved at one point and you grew out of the bike. And that's basically it. I grew out of the Red Rover. Um, it's it's a great bike for the price. I think if they charge, again, I've said this before, if they charge a little bit more, they could be a little bit better. They can give you more. Uh, for the price for what you get, I believe Red is still, uh, it's, I think they're still top dog over on this side of the water when it comes down to bikes for the average consumer. Um, but the Red, I'm definitely still going to put it on the Katy Trail and roll that 200 and some odd mile journey over the course of 3 days. Over the course of 3 days, that's going to happen, and hopefully, this everything, all these this situation will be over. Bars, clubs, Airbnbs, whatever, all those things are open, less restrictions, all that, so I can travel in peace. Hopefully that will go. It seems every time I try to put this trip together, it seems like something always happens and it's starting to really wear me down because I'm not getting any younger. But I have to do this to get it off of my bucket list, and hopefully I can find someone. So hopefully we can get us a e-bike group together, people that are close, that want to do this adventure, and we take this trip, and we crack jokes, and there's supposed to be some nice ice cream and pie shops along the way that we could just have some fun and just kick it a little bit. I touched on getting into a travel van. Made a whole video about it. Fellas, ladies, that rabbit hole is deep. That rabbit hole gets real deep. And it can be either cheap or it can be really expensive. Uh and as I really dove into it, I started to realize that I think I am gonna do it, but I can't talk about it because I don't want anyone to steal my ideas. That is a great question, Chris. I so the total trip is going to take about. Chris asked, "How am I going to recharge the battery on such a long trip?" The answer is I plan on buying a second battery for the Rad. Readjust myself here. I plan on buying the second battery for the Rad, and but right now, so it's a 200 and something mile trip. Okay, I think I will only need to uh charge my batteries once, and I think I would only need to charge one battery. Right now, as I sit or stand when in this riding situation, I'm at right around, believe it or not, believe it or not, I'm at a 50 to 55 mile average per battery. And so two batteries, and this is the Katy Trail, and this is um, the Katy Trail is kind of like some of the regular trails that you would ride. It's more of like a gravel road, from my understanding. There's nothing technical about it. 100% rideable, and I don't think it's going to be too squishy. Um, but there's paved gravel, little dirt. You could do this ride on a road bike, from my understanding, so it can't be that aggressive. Okay. So I am thinking, with that being said, I should be able to roll 110 miles roughly with the two batteries. I would only need to stay in a town. So there's a lot of places where you can camp at. People have little sections on their property that you can kind of rent for the night. And this dog wants to have a party. Um, where you can rent a space for the night, and maybe they'll have some charging there. I'm going to do some research, but off of the two batteries, I should be able to make it over the course of 3 days. And I want to do as much camping, backcountry camping as possible, but depending on what the weather conditions are, how comfortable I feel out there, I just may just and if we have a group of people, then we'll just get some rentals, get some little camp sections, and then they will have power, so I can charge up battery there. But battery is, the least of the least of my issues. I don't know what went on there. I got a little crazy. So that's the least of my issues. Um, but I'm rolling pretty good right now. As long things that are the factor, as long as I can keep my tires to the proper pressure and I don't pack more than what I need, I can roll. I can roll. And I'm only gonna ride man, I don't know. I'm probably like I don't know. I have to see what the breakdown is. I gotta see what the breakdown is. Anybody willing to do 80 miles a day with me? 50 miles a day with me? Anybody there? Show of hands. Put an I in the comment section. See how many eyes I get. What's going on, Opie? What's going on, big headed one? Come on, guys. I know you're only like 8 seconds behind. I should have asked the question by now. Well, who's with me? So but that's my plan for it. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, and overall, I think it'll be a great time. But we got to knock it off the bucket list. If you're in the Missouri area, definitely. Uh, if you're in Missouri, this should be a really a if you're healthy enough to do it. If you're healthy enough to do it, you guys you guys should really consider it, and we should really plan it out. Oh, come here. Nah. Yeah, he's a little restless right now. He's calling for he's trying to get to his brother so they can go and terrorize me from outside, because then they go out and then they scratch to come back in. It's the evolution of puppies. So all right, nothing got bumped. Everything's still rolling. Everybody's still happy. Yeah, dude. So he's a little anxious right now. So one of the things I was touching on about the amount of miles an hour that I can do and why I am dialing back on the upgrades on the red. Uh, the bike was set up. The bike was set up a certain way. It was made for consumers. It has its limitations. Um, with that being said, I decided not to change the controller that came with the bike, so I can try to get more life out of it, or not life, but more speed out of it. Just because more speed will just equal um more drain on the battery. Right now, I know that I can do 50 to 55 miles on a single charge. I don't know what those numbers will do if I change the battery. And mostly, I'm mostly only riding on pedal assist 2. That's like my average. And occasionally I'll do pedal assist 1. I don't really get up that high. I really just use the battery to take the weight off the bike. I am guilty, just like you, of hitting the throttle when it's time to go uphill, of course. So I do use the throttle occasionally going uphill, but on average, pedal assist 2. I'm just taking the weight of the bike away, basically. Especially around this time of the year. it's riding around in snow, uh, having high pedal assist is just not where it's at. Not where it's at all. Uh, so I have a couple of things that we're going to talk about next week, and I think, next week's going to be a great one. I got to figure out how I'm going to do it. We're going to do a live walk around of the bike, what I have done, and the ultimate decisions that made me stop where I'm at and just love the Rad for what it is. But it's a great travel bike right now, and that's really kind of how I'm living the life right now and living the dream. Guys, I really enjoyed you this week. I hope I entertained you and took your mind off of whatever foolery that is plaguing you this week. Um, Hope to see you next. Well, we're definitely going to see you next week. Going to kick it, do our thing. See you guys.